From LALATE News headquarters in Santa Monica, this is Mornings LALATE.
Good morning, everybody. Hope you're having a beautiful day. It's a big day with huge news coming in minutes ago as Federal Express, yes, FedEx, withdrew their earnings guidance for the whole rest of this year. No, they didn't downward guide for the rest of the year. They withdrew their guidance. And the stock is down a quarter of its valuation. 24% down right now. It's crashing the whole markets. The markets are down 300 points. And that situation is unraveling by the minute. We'll go over what's happening. Their comments, a global recession is underway. We'll have the breaking news of the FedEx implosion of the world markets right today. Plus, we'll be looking at a major story which we started covering earlier this week. It was the bond yield, remember? Remember that bond yield on Tuesday was a 3.7? And then we had the crash of the markets when that consumer price index number was released on Tuesday. And I told you the bond yield, the 2-year bond, went from 3.7 to 3.73, the highest level we've seen since 2007. The next day, 3.79. The day after that, 3.8. Today, it's a 3.9. We have never seen this level in nearly a generation. We'll have the breaking news across the board and what it means for you and your money. That's why you have to get a forced stimulus check in every U.S. state. Tens of thousands of dollars in just 3 days, 4 days, 5 days. We'll meet one viewer who got another $30,000. Another $30,000 this week on top of their existing $140,000, bringing their grand total to $170,000 for one viewer, one family. It's not alone. We'll meet the other 6-figure winners from this channel that are getting massive sums of money from $100,000 up to $200,000. I got for you 14 categories of forced stimulus checks in every U.S. state, 300 possible checks and yield you a possible $300,000. Plus, we'll be jumping into the great news if you're on benefits, SSI, SSDI, Social Security Rural Benefits, with the thousands of new dollars coming to you. It's a lifetime of stimulus. And I have the breaking news with that CPI-W, and we'll project out what's coming in thereafter. From the shores of Santa Monica, California, there's a lot of other major breaking news we're going to go over this morning, and it's hitting left and right. I'm excited you're here. Let's get to the breaking news from the shores of Santa Monica, California. It all starts right here, right now, as a big, bold Mornings LA gets underway this morning. And good morning, everybody. I hope you're having a beautiful day. It is gorgeous across the coast of Santa Monica, California on a big day. And boy, is there a lot of major breaking news coming in left and right. We'll go over everything you need to know in today's recording from the shores of Santa Monica, California. Big week it is, and the big week is certainly not done. We have a lot of major stories that came in this morning, and we're going to go over them starting right now. How are you? I hope you're having a beautiful day. Thank you for starting your new day with me. We have a lot of shows, brand new afternoons at 3 o'clock, brand new evenings at 5, and of course a brand new live show on LATE 1, LATE 2, and LATE 3. Let's get into the breaking news right now. We start with a major shocker as Federal Express, FedEx, gave guidance a few weeks ago for the rest of this year and then withdrew the guidance because they said the U.S. economy is going to hurt them much more than they initially thought. The stock is down 24%, one quarter of its value in just the first few hours of today's trading day. It's causing the world markets to crash. Dow is down 335 points. NASDAQ is down as well. And it's trashing lots of transportation stocks which are really getting hurt. The commentary coming from Robert Teeter of Silvercrest Asset Management minutes ago says the following. I think it's one of those things we see in the pandemic, post-pandemic, is that different sectors are having different cycles. Well, not so. The major indices are all crashing based upon the news, and companies in the same industry also getting hurt badly. XPO Logistics down 6% just in a few hours today. Now, here is where the breaking news also hit this morning. Another story we're working on this morning. We had waited for all this week. It was released minutes ago. It's consumer confidence. The University of Michigan's Consumer Confidence Sentiment Index was released for September, and it came in less confident than expected. The number came in at a 59.5. Wall Street's looking for 60. And this is slightly better than the August read of a 58.2. But the confidence is dissipating. The leader of the sentiment report, Joanne Hugh, says that the median expectation continues to slide as consumers continue to exhibit substantial uncertainty about the future trajectory of prices. And their confidence was not any better if they showed up wearing lobster shorts. Their confidence was not any better if they were wearing a San Francisco hairstyle. Now, this next breaking report, I think, is critical. It's from Bank of America, and it says the markets are overvalued. It says stocks are too high. They're overvalued. There's too much euphoria, too much inherent giddiness and confidence when the markets should be devaluing the stocks. The comments coming in from Bank of America minutes ago, and it's from its economist Savita Subramanian, obtained by LA News, say the following. Stocks are cheaper, but they are still not cheap enough. And that the multiples, the valuations of stocks are far too high. This is what's happening, is that analysts today on Wall Street, who are professionals in this, say that the amateurs, the novices, the young folks that are just coming out saying buy, 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 are running up valuations that are unjustified based upon a recession and inflation. And the situation is going to get far worse. Now, can you imagine what has happened on this channel since Tuesday? It's just incredible. Tuesday, the 2-year bond was featured and discussed between you and I on Tuesday. And it went higher when the CPI was released on Tuesday. The CPI is inflation, consumer price index, how much you're paying for goods. It went higher than expected. And if inflation is higher, then the Federal Reserve is going to raise rates. The Federal Reserve is going to raise rates, then bonds go higher and stocks go lower. And that's what happened on Tuesday. The 2-year bond on Tuesday was a 3.73. We discussed this on the channel. And I said, wow, that's really high. That's the highest level since 2007, the highest level of a generation. That was Tuesday. Wednesday, 3.79. Thursday, 3.8. I said it yesterday on this broadcast on Mornings Live. I said, did you notice what happened in the 2-year bond? In 2 days, it's gone from 3.7 to 3.8. Well, here you go. The breaking news right now is that the 2-year bond is now, on Friday, 3.9. 3.7 to 3.9 when it already was the highest level since 2007 on Tuesday. Major trouble of a cup of tea. Why? Stocks are going to crash. Bonds are going to go higher. Federal Reserve is going to raise rates. Inflation is still here. And recession's underway. That's where we lead with data on this channel. And imagine how in just 2 days you and I have been watching this and how it's going to get worse. We'll have the latest details on that more in a second. Next, a comment coming in from Dominic Wilson, a note on Friday to his investors, says the way we're going to solve inflation is recession. The basic story is simple. A significant recession will remove inflation. And there you go. And across the board, other things are hitting internationally, like the pound sterling to the lowest level in 40 years against the dollar. My goodness. This is why, my friends, you have to get a 4 stimulus check in every USD. Congratulations to longtime viewer, triple member to 3 channels, LA1, LA2, and LA3, Dragon, who yesterday revealed she got $30,000 of 4 stimulus on top of her existing $140,000 of existing for stimulus, bringing her grand total to $170,000 she has gotten for herself and her family. That is $170,000 for one family, and it's not alone. The 666 success stories continue left and right with Mark, who's got 166,000, Lorraine, who's always on the morning show's live chat, 155,000, and then we have Johnny, who got $80,000 in 3 days, $50,000 in 2 days for his two family members. That alone in that family was about 150. Then he helped a series of neighbors and friends get over $250,000 on this channel. It's for stimulus. What is this for stimulus? It is 14 categories of 300 checks, upwards of $300,000. How do you get it? You go on in this video, you become a member, Purple Hawk, Purple Power, Calcino VIP. You get that membership newsletter delivered via the YouTube alerts for members to you Monday through Friday, and you go in and apply for all those incredible checks. And you become a success story. At 666, you deserve $100,000, don't you? You get these huge sums of money that viewers are getting. And let's go over where are these checks and how they have happened. These incredible checks have continued to grow and roll out over time. The first 3 checks were passed by the President of the United States by executive action in the month of March. I label them checks A, B, and C. Those first 3 checks were $100,000 alone. And you qualify, single individual, $75,000 less, go get it. Married couple, $150,000 less, go get it. If you rent, if you own, if you're on with children, without children, in every U.S. state, go get them. Then Congress passed a bill that established the next 7 checks, E through K. More money, a lot of additional checks for you, now hundreds of checks across the board. Then I found for you checks L and M, N and O, P and Q, bringing it to 14 categories, 300 checks, all in the membership newsletter. Delivered 7 o'clock Pacific, 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, 9 o'clock Central. You go into that membership newsletter and you go get these incredible checks. Huge. Purple Power is winning. You are. Remember, this is federal stimulus. It's from the federal government. It's not from your state. It doesn't know what state you're in. You get these incredible sums of money. Go around this video and get these incredible sums of money. You deserve it left and right. The breaking news continues now also with that massive developing details of the raise of your benefits. Congratulations. Thousands and thousands of new dollars are coming to you if you're on SSI, SSDI, Social Security, Railroad benefits, and Veterans benefits. Time to celebrate. It's thousands of dollars in the year and thousands of dollars over a lifetime. It's huge. And why is it? Because of inflation. Now, we have a lot of breaking news to go over about that subject matter starting right now. Here is what's at issue. Your benefits are tied to something called COLA, C-O-L-A, which is determined by 3 months of data. The CPI-W for the month of July, the CPI-W for the month of August, and the CPI-W for the month of September. If those numbers stay the same or go higher, then your benefits are going up a lot. And if your benefits go up in 1 year, it's a lifetime. So, for example, let's say they went up 10% this year. It's not just 10% this year, it's a lifetime. Incredible. So where are those numbers? Well, here we go. The breaking news starting right now is that the CPI-W for the month of July, you ready for that number? We got it. Right now, it's breaking news, is an 8.7. The CPI-W for the month of August, released this week, you ready for the drum roll? Here we go, 8.9. It went higher. Yes, it went higher. Absolutely incredible. So where is that CPI-W going to be for this month, September, being released on October 13th? You and I can already do this. How? Jump in the live chat right now. Get ready to type with me because we're going to answer some questions. We're going to do some analysis because you are the eyes and ears of the Purple Power across the country. I want you to answer, but also say what state you're in so other viewers can see if they see the same thing that's in their state. Some of these questions will be easy. Some of the questions will get harder as we go along across the board. We're going to go over the items that determine the CPI-W for this month, which won't be released until October. First, are salaries going down? course they're not. Absolutely no. We know that because the non-farm payroll number released a few weeks ago showed they went up 0.2%. And we also had that from the CPI-W released this week. It showed that the salaries went up 0.2%. So that's an easy. No, they're going up. Salaries up. All right, let's go over another easy one. Rent. Is the landlord cutting your rent? Of course not. Of course he or she is not. And we learned that, of course, this week with the rent, which is 30% of the CPI, showed that the rent went up in the last month at nearly 1%. Wow. All right, here is the topics of discussion. Is the milk and eggs, the items you buy in the supermarket, the same or going up? Write in the live chat, same or up, and write the state you live in. For example, New York, up. Delaware, down. I'm giving you examples. Write what's going on for the milk and the eggs and the food in the supermarket. Here in Los Angeles, the eggs are up in this month of September compared to the month of August. The yogurt is up. The milk is somewhat down. The vegetables are flat because I think they're locally grown. But I see this up. What do you see for the supermarket items? We had the food raising 1% in the month of August in that CPI release this week. All right, here is an easy one again. You deserve an easy one after that one. The medical costs. Are medical costs getting cheaper? Of course not. Of course not. And we learned that this week when the medical costs rose 1% in the month of August compared to the month of July. There you go. So what in this list is going down? There's nothing in this list going down. Well, the gasoline is going down. But the gasoline is offset by all these numbers. So this is getting really exciting now. It gets even better. Why? The Federal Reserve raises rates to get inflation down. But the Federal Reserve did not meet in the month of August. They're on vacation. And they don't meet this month until another week from now. And whatever they do comes too late in the month. It won't impact the month of September's data. Yes, so whatever you and I see as the purple power in the supermarket, at the gas station, in the rent and the salaries, that, my friends, is your CPI-W for the month of September. So let's jump back in that live chat. Let's do some interaction right now. The CPI-W for July was 8.7. For August was 8.9. What, jump in the live chat right now, what do you think the CPI-W for this September will be? And write your state that you're in. I'm saying it's going to be the same, an 8.9. It went 8.7, 8.9. I'm saying it's going to be another 8.9. Of course, I'm in California. I'd like to see your comments. Write them right now. Now, this is going to get even more exciting. Why? The CPI-W for the month of September is released October 13th, as is the COLA. But here is a major breaking story. It's a little bit complicated, so I'm going to slow it down. So laser focus on me with this one. It's the next 3 minutes of this video concerns people on Medicare Plan B. If you're on Medicare Plan B, in 2021, last year, your Medicare Plan B costs went through the roof, up 15% in 1 year because of one prescription medication cost, the price of one medication. That raise of your Medicare Plan B costs of 15% through the roof in 1 year ate up all your wonderful raises of your benefits that year, which was 6% COLA. This year, if you're on Medicare Part B, it's never going to happen again like that. You will never have that Plan B costs going through the roof ever again and eating up your raise of your benefits. Yes, this is great news. Why is that? Because of a bill that was passed by Congress a few weeks ago that removed that one prescription medication cost that rose your Plan B premiums through the roof. It's gone. So whatever raise of your benefits that happened this year, it's absolutely incredible. Will never, ever be eaten up by Medicare Plan B. It's great news, and there's so much great news still happening on this channel. Meantime, we have a lot of data that continue to come in this week, and the data that we really are tracking is the following. First, inflation is up month to month. We had that with the CPI, the retail sales, and also the PPI this week. Number two, manufacturing is contracting. The economy is not growing, it's shrinking. The manufacturing number released yesterday, the Philadelphia Fed Manufacturing Index, showed that it was not a positive number, which has shown growth. It was a negative 10, showing massive contraction. Over to Wall Street. Stocks were down 1,100 points on Tuesday when that inflationary data came in, and bonds trading up. Crypto is in the tank. This, my friends, is why I have to get that four stimulus check in every U.S. state. In this big second half, we're going to go over all these incredible checks one at a time. Plus, we'll be going back over what's going on with this economy and how you have to prepare your family accordingly. And I'll have my commentary about what the president said about this economy this week. It's time for you to be part of that 666 family. That family of people who are getting six figures from this channel. Six figures, like Mark, who's at 50,000 and then went to 166,000. Lorraine, who was on 105 and she went to 155. How do you get it? You go under this video, become a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, Calcino VIP. And the big second half, we're going to go over all these incredible checks one at a time. The breaking news continues. I'll have more about what's happening right this morning as Mornings LA continues on air.
If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.la.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join LALATE Daily for the excitement of the new LALATE live daily. The excitement starts on Mornings LALATE at 9 a.m. Home LALATE returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then afternoons LALATE at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on LALATE.
And the excitement continues on a big, bold, beautiful morning. I'm glad you're here. And the programming continues. We have a brand new afternoons LA at 3 o'clock and a brand new evenings at 5 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. Need you to see me there, and I'll be looking for you in the live chat. In this big second half, we're going to go over all these incredible four stimulus checks in every U.S. state. Let's recap. The first three checks were passed in March by executive action of Joseph Biden. A, B, and C. $100,000. Then Congress came in and passed checks E through K. 7 categories. Thereafter, I found you more checks, bringing it to now 300 checks, 300,000 possible dollars in every U.S. state. They're all in the membership newsletter Monday through Friday. You go onto this video, become a member, and get these incredible checks passed and become part of the Purple Power community. You deserve these big sums of money, and they're here right across the board. Let's go over what's at issue with these incredible Purple Power checks. First, the largest check, $100,000. It's absolutely incredible. Yes, there's a $100,000 check in there. The smallest check, about $8,000. Routing times, well, Johnny got $80,000 in about 3 days. Yes, you can get tens of thousands of dollars in just 3 days from this channel. Absolutely incredible. And you qualify. It's from the federal government's federal stimulus. It does not know what state you are in, and it doesn't know what hairstyle you have. Once you become a member, you get that membership newsletter, and you go right down and apply for check A, B, and continue all the way to Q. Get those incredible sums of money and post your success story, inspire other people, send me your success story. You continue to win. Keep on doing it. They're all in that membership newsletter. As I find you more checks, I'll roll those out as well for you. 300 checks, about $300,000. Go get them. Huge day across the board. Let's go back into what Wall Street is digesting today and what it's not yet digesting, but should. The latest details on Wall Street's moves and pivots this week was that there are certain individuals, and we call them basically novice investors, amateurs, people that are basically younger into the markets, that are not working at major banks, they're not economists, that have grown up in great times of upward trends. They could buy a stock and it'll be higher valued another year. They could buy real estate and it would go up in value in just 3 months. They have never lived in the last 20 years during an environment in which there's nothing you can buy that goes up in value. Imagine for the next 2 years, starting next year, that whatever you look to want to buy, it goes down in value. You can't buy real estate, it will go down. You can't buy cars, they'll go down. You can't buy stocks, they'll go down. It's an environment in which they have never lived. But older analysts or people who are more seasoned or educated that are on Wall Street understand what that is. It's called a bear market. It's called a bear market. And yet the implications of it have not filtered over to those novices yet. Here's what's at issue. Number one, we saw this week when major news events happen, there was a major jugular or almost domino effect of crashing when we think to ourselves, but wait, we already knew that was going to happen. Today, the latest details, of course, was Federal Express down nearly a quarter of its value. 24% of its stock value is gone today after it reported there's a global recession underway. But you and I knew there was a global recession underway. What's the surprise in here? Well, they had to withdraw their guidance because they said the global environment's getting worse. Well, you and I knew that. And yet Wall Street was shocked by this news. It shouldn't be shocked by the news. Let's go over to this week. You and I knew that inflation was still hot, still high, that wasn't going down, that the milk and eggs in the supermarket is still higher, that the salaries are going up, the rent is going up. We all knew this. And when that CPI came in on Tuesday, the markets crashed 1,100 points. But we all knew this. You and I knew this. Why is this happening? It's happening based upon what you can call basically false optimism or euphoria that's unjustified. People just think that things go up, 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 and they're not ready for an environment of 2 years where everything stays lower, lower, and lower. Here's what you need to know. For the last 2 years, we've been talking about this downward spiral, but more importantly, or this year, I said, as the first American broadcaster financial space, that there was a recession coming. I was the only one to mention recession in spring of this year. And then I said that the recession was going to hit the heart of the recession next year, and it would be 2 years. And yet, even as Wall Street saw bad times in May, they wanted to tell you the bad times were over. The bad times were over for stocks. The bad times were over for crypto and housing. No, no, no. As you go over to housing, here's my latest guidance right now. If you own a home and you have to sell for whatever reason, maybe you're flipping the home, sell it now. Why? Because the mortgage rates are not going to have any prospective buyers for you in a few months. The mortgage rates have grown from a 3% a year ago, and a lot of YouTubers brag about, the 2% mortgage they locked in maybe 3 or 4 years ago. Guess what the mortgage rates are right now? 6%. Guess where they're going? 7% of my projection. You're not going to have a buyer at 7% mortgage. You won't be able to sell the home. If you have to sell the home for whatever reason, maybe you're flipping the home, sell it now. If you have to buy a home, I'm not quite sure who would have to buy a home, but if you have to buy a home, buy it now. If you have to have a mortgage, because the mortgage rates are absolutely going to go through the roof, you will not be able to afford the home in the future. But remember, the house is going to devalue. The house will devalue. The average price in the U.S. of a medium average price of a home has fallen down. 14% of them are below the levels of last year. 40% are below the levels of 2019. Let's jump over to other industries. If you are in small business environment, get ready because the debt that you have as a small business owner is going to go through the roof. Or if you work for someone as a small business owner, you have to make sure that job is still there in the near future. Why? The Federal Reserve is going to raise interest rates for the whole rest of the year, is my guidance, at 75 basis point. And imagine how much more expensive that debt, that's very expensive right now, is going to be. It's going to go through the roof. And so that small business owner needs to get rid of that debt or lock it into something that's fixed. And if you work for that small business owner, make sure that job or there's another job available for you indefinitely. Now, let's go over to crypto stocks and bonds. Crypto was dominated by these very, very young 21, 22-year-old YouTubers saying that buy, 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 and now their channels are gone, 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 gone. Just, they racked up 1 million subscribers and now they can barely pull in 20,000 views a day. Why? Because they told you crypto winter, which is a downward time, a bear market of crypto, would be 2 months. How about crypto winter for 2 years? That's what's going to happen. Stocks are going to be down for 2 years. Housing is going to be down for 2 years. Crypto will be down for 2 years. It will be down for 2 years. And for all those broadcasts that said, Bitcoin is now found a resistance level of 20,000. No, it's going to keep on going lower. That's a situation. You need to get as much stimulus as you can and build it up. Now, let's go over to the White House. The White House, my commentary of the White House is that he's the president of the United States. He's supposed to deliver optimism. That's his job. He's supposed to instill positivity in the marriage spirit, but he's also supposed to be a source of information. And if he doesn't have the information, or if he is really not the source of information, then he shouldn't deliver it. He has someone else to deliver that information. Her name is Janet Yellen. She's the Treasury Secretary. Here she is. She's in charge of economic issues. And yet the president tried to deliver information this week, and the information he delivered was blatantly wrong. Number one, he said the manufacturing is improving this U.S. economy. Untrue. We saw that yesterday with the Philadelphia Manufacturing Index. It showed a negative number. A positive number shows more manufacturing growth. A negative number shows less manufacturing shrinkage. -10 was the number. Number two, he said that he's not worried about inflation because it only moved 0.1%. That is in 4 weeks. It is up year to date through the roof. And that makes you sort of wonder, is he being evasive or does he really know the data? I think he's being evasive because I think he does know the data. The data for inflation, when you look at travel and leisure, is through the roof. Here's some of the year-to-date numbers on inflation. Airline fares are up 33%. And guess what? They're going to go higher by Thanksgiving and Christmas. The data came in just yesterday. I had it on this channel. Electricity is up 16%. It's going to go higher potentially as we go in the colder weeks. And then new vehicles up 11%. He actually, you know what he did yesterday? He actually yesterday bragged about these wonderful new electric vehicles from the 3 major U.S. auto manufacturers. He had a press conference there. You know how much the price of those new electric vehicles are? $50,000 is the starting price. What were cars 2 years ago, the starting price? They weren't $50,000. They were a lot less. So he's touting cars that are actually embedding that inflationary raise of the price of the car. And finally, he basically said that there is no recession because the labor market is so strong. That is basic economics 101. Labor does not fall apart at the start of a recession. It falls apart later in a recession. And you don't not have a recession because labor is strong. The strength of labor at the start of a recession does not invalidate the narrative that there's a recession. It's all wrong data. And that's what's happening with these markets. Wrong data coming from the president's mouth. We have wrong analysis and overvaluation of stocks, says Bank of America today. People are trading up stocks based upon overvaluation in an environment in which we're in a recession is going to get worse. Then we have markets giddy and shocked by the least element of a data released that you and I all know. We all know inflation's here. We all know the Federal Reserve is going to raise those rates for the rest of this year. And yet when they hear on Wall Street the one announcement for a blink of an eye that suggests they got it wrong and you and I got it right, they crash things. They crash them and they crash them. This situation is going to continue across the board. Here's what you need to know. There's great news for you. The great news is that, one, massive raise of your benefits, thousands of dollars or more money coming to you, not just this year, but lifetime. Number two, massive stimulus, hundreds of thousands of dollars obtained by viewers of this channel, and you can as well. Go on to this video, become a member, Purple Hawk, Purple Power Casino, BIP. Inspire other people and continue to post your success stories and send to me on private messages on Facebook, and I'll feature them on air. Number three, data controls, data leads. The data delivered to you by me on this channel on a regular basis over the last 2 years and continues thereafter is the following. The CPI, the PPI, and the retail sales are released in 3 consecutive days every month. CPI is how much you pay for goods. Producer price index is how much the wholesaler pays. And the retail sales is how much the items are going up in value in the supermarket. Then, in between those 3 days of data, we have the Personal Consumption Expenditure Index, which is being released in just a few days from now as well. For housing, we have the new home starts, the existing home sales, and the builder's confidence. Then we have other data released in between there, like consumer confidence that was released this morning once a month from the University of Michigan. And we have the manufacturing data that comes in once a month and came in yesterday. The Federal Reserve meets once a month, starting again in September, all throughout the rest of this year, and they have those FOMC meetings in which they raise interest rates to battle inflation. That data is once a month. And then once a week is the release of the jobless claims number, which came in at 214,000 yesterday, slightly lower than expected, but nothing to celebrate about because it's still the highest level since June. And then finally, the unemployment rate, which is released as part of the non-farm payroll number once a month. And yes, the president got that data wrong as well. He said a lot more jobs are being created. No, there were 500,000 jobs created in the U.S. economy in the month of July. In August, it fell to 300,000. So that is how you have to lead by data. And when you lead by data, you end in first place. I look forward to seeing you throughout the day. Join me next if you're watching the show live when it airs on Home LA at 11 a.m. And if you're watching this during the live feed, then don't forget Afternoons LA coming up at 3 o'clock brand new, followed by Evenings LA brand new as well at 5 o'clock. Join LA Live on this channel Monday through Sunday, 24/7, airing live on all your big money. Jump over to LA2 for Stimulus Live and jump over to LA3 for Crypto Live and more programming as well. Remember to become a member. Get those incredible checks. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, Casino VIP. Get that membership newsletter and go in and apply. From the shores of Santa Monica, California, stay informed, stay focused, have a beautiful morning, and stay with LA for more.